Sai Ram. Pronounced at the lotus feet of Bhagavan, dear brothers and sisters. All things are meant for one objective. Just as we say that all roads lead to Rome, all spiritual paths lead to only one goal. What is it? That is the knowledge of the self, or if you want to call it, the awareness, or you may say self-experience, experience of the self, or knowledge of the self is the goal of all spiritual paths. As Bhagavan Baba said, whatever he does, whatever he makes us do, is also directed to this objective of making all of us experience the self, acquire the knowledge of the self. Without this, then after all other things are secondary. The primary objective being the awareness of the self. The paths may be different, procedures may be different, languages may be different, religions may be different, but the center is one and the same. That is the self or consciousness. This knowledge of the self is what is called jnana. J-N-A-N-A. Jnana. Jnana, or the knowledge of the self, is different from the knowledge which is secular. Knowledge relating to the world is secular knowledge, or information, or all the data, the subject we gather and develop out of these 5 elements collected through 5 senses. The whole world is the 5 elements. Complete. These 5 elements are observed by these 5 senses. And that is collected in the form of worldly knowledge or secular knowledge. But the spiritual knowledge is different from this. It is beyond the 5 elements outside. It is beyond the perception of 5 senses. Meaning the source of 5 senses, the source of 5 elements is one and the same. Simple example. I want to learn physics or chemistry, medicine or biology. That is something different which I learn. For this I have got books, I have got teachers, and I have also got laboratories to make observations. I have eyes to see what I am doing. I have ears to hear what is all that is instructed to me, what all that is taught to me. So 5 senses help me to develop the worldly knowledge or secular knowledge. But the knowledge of the self is the source of the 5 senses, is the very source of the 5 senses. What do I mean by that? I may hear, I may see, I may talk, I may touch, I may smell, but I is same. There is nothing like a person who sees in me, another person in me who hears, some other person who touches. No, I only make use of these five senses to experience in this objective world. But this I is common. And this knowledge, awareness of this common I is what is called self or spirit or consciousness. This knowledge of the self is what is called jnana. Usually in the world, people think that secular knowledge is jnana. No. The spiritual text has clearly said the worldly knowledge is different from spiritual knowledge. Paravidya, P-A-R-A. Aparavidya, A-P-A-R-A. Vidya, V-I-D-Y-A. I give the spelling for the benefit of our friends from overseas. Because it should not be something above our head. Let me try to communicate to the extent possible. So Vidya, Paravidya, Aparavidya. Aparavidya is a secular knowledge or worldly knowledge. Paravidya, Param, which is supreme, is the knowledge of the self. Another difference is this. In the worldly knowledge, I am here and there is something heard. I hear, sound is heard, seen is seen, object is touched, flower is smelt. So there are two here. In the worldly knowledge there are two. The one who sees, the one that is seen. The one who hears and the sound. Two are there in the worldly knowledge. But in the spiritual knowledge, Paravidya, seer is the seen. Observer is the observed. That is it. Therefore, there are no two, only one. The seer and the seen, hearer and the sound, experiencer and the experience are all one, non-dual. Therefore, my friends, the worldly knowledge or secular knowledge is dual, while the knowledge of the self, or what you say Paravidya, is non-dual. Then there is another aspect. The worldly knowledge is acquired or learned from a guru or a teacher. He teaches us. You go to a school, attend some university classes, go to the laboratory, do some experiments. Well, these are the things that we acquire from different sources. The worldly knowledge. But the knowledge of the self is not to be taught, is not to be given. It is something within you already. It is not going to be acquired. MSc degree in physics is to be acquired. PhD in chemistry is to be acquired. But knowledge of the self is not to be acquired. Because you are already in the acquisition or possession of it. Knowledge of the self is already there. It is not going to be acquired. It is not going to be learned in a laboratory by way of observation whatsoever. Knowledge of the self meaning realization. I just realize that there is self. That's all. There is self within me. That awareness is the knowledge of the self. It is not to be learnt There is no 5-year course or 6-year PhD, doctoral degree. There is no university, Harvard or Oxford. No university. It is just awareness of the self. Finally, all the worldly knowledge is obtained by our outward approach. I cannot see a burette or a pipette if I don't open my eyes. I cannot burn the Bunsen burner or weigh in a compound balance or see through compound microscope if I don't open my eyes. I cannot hear the sound if I just pay any attention to that. Therefore, the outward senses collect outward information. This is secular knowledge. When once this outward is blocked, door is shut down, meaning close the eyes. I don't see any. Don't hear. Then no sound at all. When all the 5 senses doors are closed, what happens? The inner curtain is lifted. The inner curtain is lifted. Unless doors are shut, senses, outward senses, doors are shut, the inner curtain is not lifted. What is this inner curtain? The curtain of I-ness, or the curtain of ego, or the curtain of attachment. When once the 5 senses are closed, the curtain is lifted, then one will be able to know, visualize the self, which is true I. So there are 2 forms to this I, the external I and the internal I. The external I is the one that you see. The personality, the achievement, accomplishment, greatness, biodata. This is all external I. But the inner I is beyond all this. It is always in unity. The external I goes on changing from time to time. I was a graduate. Now I am a postgraduate. In future, I want to have a doctorate degree. So there is gradation in the outer world and in the outer realm or outer horizon in the field of secular knowledge. But in the field of the knowledge of the self, the inner I, the real I, is always the same. I cannot say I want different from what it is now. The external I goes on changing. I was a boy, later youth, old man, like that it goes on changing. But this I is unchanging. That is the real inner I. Awareness of the inner I, which is changeless, which is eternal, which is nectarous, which is immortal, which neither has a beginning nor an end, which is the source of all the 5 senses and the 5 elements, is the true I or the self. Anything related to that is knowledge of the self or self-awareness or what we say para-vichar. My friends, my sincere appeal to all of us, including me here, self-reminder, is not to forget the primary purpose of spirituality. After all, we come to Bhagavan for many problems. The family problem, the business problem, the health problem. These problems bring us to Him. That way, we are very, very grateful to our problems. We are very thankful to our problems. If there are no problems, would have been there at our native places enjoying the world for nothing. But the problems brought us here. So God has sent us invitation of a problem so as to bring us here. Problems are divine now. Problems have shown us spiritual path. How can I say problem is painful? No. A problem has got a gain. Pain is a gain. Yes. Now having come here, we should not multiply our problems. We should not increase our problems. We should not amplify, magnify, multiply our problems. Because problems brought us here, okay, why another problem again? We crossed the main gate. We are in the central hall. You don't need main gate to cross once again. You are already in the hall. Similarly, having been to Swami, with Swami, let us know that the purpose, that is the knowledge of the self. The self-awareness. But unfortunately, many of us want to remain at the main gate only. Miserably, we want to remain at that standard only. So that's what Baba said. How long would you spend your time in learning ABC alphabets until retirement or what? Parents have admitted us to our schools. After some time, they want us to go to a college. After some period of time, we are expected to move to a university. We can't remain in the LKG or UKG throughout our life, singing kindergarten, nursery rhymes. Can we? No. If we do that, it means growth has stopped at that level. Spiritual journey is continuous. Spiritual journey is continuous. I may stop my studies at the postgraduate level. I may stop earning after retirement. I may stop working when I fall sick or when the body non-cooperates, which happens naturally. With age, energy levels come down. But if we want to fight with the energy levels, still want to work, there are many hospitals open to us. You can't fight. We have to plan our schedule depending on our age. At this age, what is I can do? With these resources, what is it I can manage? If we forget the resources, age, position of the body and fight against it, allowing the mind to have its way, yes, this is not the place to live in. As I said, dispensaries, hospitals are there. If we do not compromise with the body condition, the body has to go to a doctor. Better I compromise with my body condition. It doesn't permit. Alright, one may say, I used to eat a lot. Good, please continue to eat. But after some time, please moderate it. Limit it. No, alright, eat it. The medicines also have got to be sold. The pharmaceutical industry also should prosper because of such people. Therefore, a kind of moderation, a kind of regulation is expected at some stage or other. What I want to inform you is this. Worldly knowledge has got some limits at some point of time. Well, I want to stop at this level. I have done this far, no further. But knowledge itself is infinite. It is infinite. It is the one of continuum. One of continuum. An eternal journey. A continuous pilgrimage. That is the difference between a secular knowledge and the worldly knowledge. My friends, our attempt in these Sunday talks is only to remind ourselves what we know already. Nothing new. We heard from Bhagavan. We go through his literature, and these talks will help us to remind ourselves again and again. It is said that cow brings back the grass eaten already, chews once again. The cow way of style of eating. It just masticates, it chews, bringing back which is already consumed. So what we do is, we heard Shravana, S-R-A-V-A-N-A, Shravana. Having heard, we recapitulate, we memorize, we discuss, we deliberate, we think time and again. This is what you call manana, M-A-N-A-N-A. So Shravana is listening, manana is recapitulation, bringing back to memory. That's what our attempt is. Well, the point is this. By this knowledge of the self, or self-awareness, what is the immediate benefit? What is the immediate effect? This morning I was watching on TV, some Swami is telling, if you do this, you'll get the result in a week's time. Good. There may be someone else who will tell us you'll get the result in 3 days. Good. We want everything instantaneous, immediate. We can't wait, Immediate. Therefore, my friends, what is the immediate benefit of the knowledge of the self? Or Atma Jnana. A-T-M-A. J-N-A-N-A. Atma Jnana. The knowledge of the self. What is the immediate gain? Is this. You will drop a very painful quality within us. That will go. That is the immediate benefit of jnana. Simple example. Well, when once the BP, blood pressure is controlled, the rest of the problems can be controlled automatically. The basic thing has got to be controlled. Similarly, one quality must be controlled or to be totally gone for spiritual elevation, for spiritual advancement. That is possible by the acquisition of the knowledge of the self. What is it? That will go immediately. Just as doctors say, when you eat salt-free diet or pepper-free diet, well, BP will come down. That's what doctors say. So similarly, with the knowledge of the self, a fundamental painful quality will get out, making our life heavenly. What is it? Raga, R-A-G-A, attachment. Dvesha, hatred, that will be dropped. A man of jnana, a man of awareness, self-knowledge, will not have any raga and dvesha. No sir, there is a person there in London, he has got so much of knowledge of the self, but he is full of raga and dvesha. I say, it is not the knowledge, it is only bookish information. Supposing I say, sir, I am reading day and night for the last couple of months, but I successfully failed in the examination. Then you will tell me, you must have read something else, not the textbooks. Or even if you read, you must have gone to samadhi or sleep while reading. Or you must be a dunce of international standard. Or else how can you fail by spending a couple of hours every day for reading? So similarly, the sign of a man of self-knowledge is this. What is it? No raga, attachment. No dvesha, hatred. That is the sign. How do you say it is iron? When magnet attracts, it is iron. How do you say it is pure gold? Go to the goldsmith. He'll put on the touchstone. This is a pure gold, he says. How do you say that he has got fever? Put the thermometer. It will record. How do you say he is a jnani, a man of knowledge? He should not have raga and dvesha. If he has these two, he needs some more medication. He needs some more sadhana. He needs some more introspection. He needs some more self-evaluation, self-assessment. A long way to go. I have seen the map. I know where Washington DC is. That doesn't mean that you have gone there. No, only paper. Similarly, the knowledge of the self is not information. The knowledge of the self is awareness or experience of it. The second basic thing of a jnani is this. I can explain what all I know in botany. Being a postgraduate degree holder with a long period of experience as a teacher, I can explain easily whatever little I know in botany. So also in physics, you can explain. All those things that we have learned, acquired in the world in the form of secular knowledge can be explained vividly, graphically. But knowledge of the self cannot be explained. It cannot be explained. So how do you explain? I explain that it cannot be explained. The only explanation is that it cannot be explained. That's all. Simple example. When water and sugar are separate, I can say this is the water, colorless, tasteless water. Oh, this is sugar, very sweet. Okay. Come on, mix the sugar in water. Where is the sugar? I don't know. Where is the water? Don't you see? How do you know? Come on, have a drop on your tongue. Have a drop on your tongue. Then you will know that there is sugar in the water. How sweet it is, you cannot say. Sweet, that's all, please keep quiet. Don't disturb me. How sweet it is. 5 grams sweetness, 10 grams sweetness, 5 degrees sweetness, 2 liters of sweetness. By what measure can you decide the sweetness of the sugar in water? Impossible. That is Atma Jnana, the knowledge of the self. Therefore, my friends, we can only explain that this Atma Jnana is inexplicable or cannot be explained. So what shall I do? Experience. We can only experience and we cannot explain. Whereas worldly knowledge can be experienced and explained. All the outer things can be experienced and explained. But the inner experience of the self can only be experienced, cannot be explained, because there is no experiencer, there is no experience separate. Experiencer is the experience. Seer is the seen. That's observer is the observed, non-dual. Therefore, the non-dual world cannot be brought within the narrow limitations, within the narrow framework of time, space, senses. Useless, waste of time. Therefore, my friends, Bhagavan's main mission is this. But we still want to remain at the primary school level or nursery level. Perhaps he must have been disgusted with us. stopped giving discourses, stopped talking to us also. Why useless fellows? No use. No use. They want only worldly things. Alright, please enjoy yourself. At the college level also, if the son wants to play with the toys, alright, play. Alright. Therefore, my friends, we should evolve from stage to stage. We should evolve. We should grow from stage to stage. Bhagavan pointing out to many people, he said, how long would you like to remain in the nursery level? How long you want to learn, Baba, black sheep, have you any wool? How long? Should you not allow? Grow. And alright, to put it straight across, we want to hear about Baba's miracles and experiences. Yes, true. How long? How long? Baba said in one of his discourses, to know that sea water is saltish, sea water is saline. You don't have to drink a whole sea. Not necessary. A spoon is enough. A spoon is enough to know that the marine water is saltish or saline. You don't have to drink, no, whole lot. Similarly, to know Bhagavan is omniscient, how many thousands of times we should experience miracles? To know that Bhagavan is all-knowing, Sarvajna, how many thousands of miracles we need? It only means we need confirmation, reconfirmation, affirmation, reaffirmation, negation, acceptance. In the meantime, the life chapter comes to a close. The chapter of life comes to a close. Because our business is only accept God in the morning, deny Him by the evening, get some dream in the night, morning again awareness, evening gone, pray for another dream that night. Life is not dreamland. Life is not a dreamland nor a merry land. No. This is reality. The reality is you, that's all. You may dream or not. You are here. You sleep. You dream. But you is continuous in all the states of consciousness or awareness. That is the knowledge of the self or Atma-jnana. Therefore, my friends, the fundamental quality of a realized person is that is beyond raga and dvesha, attachment and hatred. To put it in other words, he has no sense of mine and thine. Some people say, my people, my country, your people, your country. He still has to appear for another March examination or supplementary examination in spiritual nomenclature. He has to appear for, he has to improve himself. There is nothing like mine and thine. When you feel that oneness, all are one, oneness, basic unity, you cannot say, standing in front of the sea, this is my water, this is your water. Both of us, when we are in water, will be deeply sunk. You cannot divide water. You cannot divide air. You cannot divide fire. You cannot say, this is my fire, this is your fire. Both the fires will burn, both of us, to ashes. So they cannot be divided. So this kind of division or duality relates to the world. But unity is the basic feature of a religious man or a spiritual man. He finds everybody close to him. We often wonder why Bhagavan feels at home with everybody. He is from this part of this country, the southern India, that to Andhra Pradesh, a remote village. He feels at ease with everybody. Let them be from Belgium or Brazil. Very friendly, they feel at home. He goes on cutting jokes with them. Immediately he becomes a member of their family. So dear, so close with everybody. Let him be from Malaysia or Indonesia or Singapore or any country. He becomes member of your family. Immediately. Those who have experienced the interviews will certainly agree with me. When you are fortunate enough to have been given an interview, the way Swami talks to you gives you an impression as if avatar has come for you only. That avatar cannot get along without you. And you begin to feel that you know each other for ages and ages. That is the greatness of avatar. That is the greatness of avatar. He makes you feel at ease so that you can communicate freely that you and I are one. Is the real experience in the company of Bhagavan. We may say you and I are one. Many politicians say that. But accounts are different. Bank accounts are different. But you and I are one, yes. But bank accounts, luxuries, bungalows, cars, they are different. Positions are different. But you and I are one. Something like somebody said, there is one sentence saying this, all are equal. Next sentence, some are more equal. How can some be more equal? Therefore, my friends, a spiritual man will never have considerations of this kind, mine and thine. Oneness, as we experience in the company of our Bhagavan. Alright, if I give up that raga and dvesha, attachment and hatred, what will happen after all? What will happen? Because we want to know what will happen, what do I get? Because we don't offer even a cup of coffee to anybody without expecting anything. Some people don't even smile unless they have got some obligation. Very good. A commercial world indeed. We feel disgusted with such people. But we thank them because he made us take the spiritual path. Others would have got stuck with him. Thanks to all those people who have disappointed us. Thanks to all those people who have frustrated us. Thanks to all those people who have neglected us. Very good. Or else we don't come to this path. We'll be there only. Therefore, my friends, it is said, when once you give up the feeling of mine and thine, what will happen? All problems are not problematic. Problematic are two different words. Supposing one has some problem, stomach ache or headache, still he manages to work. Still he manages to smile. Some have family problem, business problem, still they are very active and smiling. Means what? They have a problem and that problem is not problematic. Therefore, a man of knowledge, Atma-jnani, will have problems, but none of the problems are problematic. Just as you find heavy logs of wood float on the surface of flowing rivers, on the surface of a river, the logs of wood float. That's all. They are very heavy, but they float. Similarly, Atma-jnani will have all his problems float, fly away, not affected. Is it not a very good promise? Is it not a reward to be coveted? Should it not be an ambition in our life? Do we like to sink in the sea of our problems? Do we want to drown ourselves in a sea of problems? Do we want to get ourselves burnt because of these problems? No, no, no. We want to float. We want to fly. A bird flies happily across the sky because lightweight. While some of us find it difficult to walk because the body luggage is more than required. Yes, the airport authorities should relax their rules. The luggage is more. They weigh the luggage but not the body. Because if they start weighing the body, we need 2 seats, double reservation. You see, my friends, the advantage of knowledge of the self is you become light. You can fly freely. You can enjoy like a bird. You are so free, so smiling, so happy. Lead the life blissfully. This is the first thing. The second, a knowledgeable man, I mean self-knowledge, Atma-jnani, a realized soul will never judge anybody. Will never judge anybody. I don't say you are bad. I don't say you are good. I don't say you are lovely. I don't say you are ugly. I don't say you are advanced. Who are you to judge anybody? Who am I to judge anybody? A knowledgeable man, Atma-jnani, will not judge anybody. If he judges, still a long way to go. Still he has to pass through some more stages to come. Why? He is not capable of judgment. He is not capable of deciding. Can't he measure? Can't he be critical? Can't he tell me what I am? No. Why? Because a man of knowledge will find himself in everyone. Will find himself in everyone. When you and I are one, when I see myself in you, how can I say you are bad? I stand in front of a mirror, I find a monkey there. What shall I do? I should accept. That's what I am. That's how I look. There's no point in breaking the mirror or filing a suit on the fellow from whom I purchased Belgium glass, very costly. Take him to the court. They will say, sir, glass is all right. Please check your face once again. Therefore, my friends, if I am judgmental, if I go on commenting about the people, if I go on talking about the people, it may not be a sin, it may not be anything basically wrong like a murder, but yet a very, very long way to be a jnani or a man of self-awareness. To be a man of knowledge of the self, there's still a long way, because I find others as others. I consider myself different from others. That's why Baba said, Parulanu tittinanta papamabbu. If you go on criticizing people, you'll be gathering sin. Viduvadennatiki vasudhayandu. Viduvadennatiki vasudhayandu. The consequences of the sin you have committed will never leave you. So to criticize others, to judge others is a sin. Parula chittinanta papamabbu. Viduvadennatikini vasudhayandu. That sin will never leave you. Understand that. Parulu kadu. Parulu kadu. Paramatmudagunaya. Unnamata tindupusunnamata. That's what Baba says. What you say the other man is not other. No. You only. The others are your own images, your own reflections. There is no other. The one without the other is divinity. So long this I and you, others, well, still a long way to go. Therefore, my friends, a realized man, Atmajnani, will be non-judgmental. Well, some people say, well, I think I have knowledge of the self, but still I judge. Why do you openly say that I don't have knowledge of the self? Why not? If you want, I'll quote Bhagavad Gita. I read Bhajagovindam every day. I read it. I have knowledge. Why do you say no? Simple point. Example. If the radio set is spoiled, you cannot listen to any station. BBC, you cannot hear. Delhi, that's all. Why? Radio set is spoiled. Therefore, our mind set is spoiled. Therefore, we get unnecessary sounds, drr, brr, but not broadcast. Something wrong with our radio set. Repair yourself. Therefore, Bhagavan says, let us correct our radio set so that we get the transmission, radio waves properly, so that we can listen to all stations. Therefore, Atmajnani will have his radio set of his mind corrected. Correct, perfect. That's what I would like to bring to your attention. What is the next benefit of a realized man? Of an Atmajnani, the one of awareness. What is it that he is going to get? Is he going to be a millionaire? Is he going to be the president of the country? Or is he going to be the richest man or the greatest man? Or any superlative degree you would like to use? No. One thing happens, which must happen in the lives of everybody, that he gets. What is it? An Atmajnani, a man of realization, or man of self-awareness, or a man of self-knowledge, will not be born again. Will not be born again. That's all. This is a full stop. Is it so easy? Why not? Because when he has got this knowledge of the self, he has no raga, attachment, no dvesha, hatred. So, no rebirth. Everyone says, moksha, I want moksha. As if it is something like sweet in the canteen. It's not like that. What do you mean by moksha? Moksha is that there is no question of rebirth. Rebirth takes place because of attachment. When one is gone, no question of rebirth. That is moksha, amrita. That's what it is. Therefore, a realized man will not have to be born again. No, sir, I want to be born again. Very good. All right. Be born again. Go to school. Let us be beaten by our teachers. Go to college. Appear for exam number of times. Get married. Better to worries once for all. Have children. And then some more diseases. All right. If this drama is enjoyable, okay. All right, sir, I enjoy sickness. Good. Please enjoy. Well, I want to be unhappy. I like unhappiness. Good. All right, have any number of cycles you want. If we want to cut off, give a break to the cycle of birth and death, it is only knowledge of the self, Atmajnana, by experience. Because there will be no raga dvesha any longer. Then, there's one point. Some people think Atmajnani, a man of knowledge, will not go to a temple, will not worship. Do you think that he is a lazy man? No. A man of knowledge is not lazy. Please understand it. To quote Baba, laziness is rust and dust. Realization is rest and best. That's what Baba said. Realization is rest and best. Atma Jnani, a man of self-realization, knowledge of the self, is always active, dynamic. He is not sluggish. He doesn't feel sleepy. No. He is excellent in every job given to him. He goes to the temple. He worships. But his process is different. While usual religious type of worship is collect number of flowers from the market, give it to Pujari if you have no time, so that he will do it on your behalf. Or give him some money so that he will buy the flowers, he will do the worship. This beautiful, we have got very shortcuts for everything. You have no time to go to the market, you have no time to buy flowers, you have no time to go to temple, give 25 rupees to Pujari, he will buy, he will do it. What he does, we do not know. That's really, see, there's nothing else to feel pity upon anybody. We have to pity ourselves. We have to pity ourselves. Therefore, my friends, Atma Jnani, a realized man, worships with flowers. As he worships with flowers, it is not the flower that is important to him. Whereas you and I consider flower very important. What flower? Jasmine or chrysanthemum or rose at least. But a Atmanjani is not bothered about the flower. He thinks of the spirit behind it. The flowers of thoughts, the fragrance of character, the flowers of a strong will, the flowers of virtues, he will think in these terms. Not a jasmine flower, Hari Om, a rose flower, Hari Om. It's not that. Meaning the whole act of worship is of a different level altogether. Something like this. You take a picture, you have all of you have cameras, and Mr. Anil, come on, smile. Okay, I'll smile like Colgate Dental Cream, and you just make a photograph. Very good. Oh, fine. But when I go to X-ray, they too take a picture. No smile, only teeth. No skin, only bones. That is also photo. So, a doctor does not look at your photo, passport size photo for immigration counter. Doctor will look at your X-ray. Therefore, to a jnani, it is X-ray. To a worldly fellow, regular Kodak film, right? Therefore, that we have to understand. Because a jnani goes by the spirit, whereas a non-realized man does things mechanically. Go to a temple, come on. How do you say that a man of a person who is not without awareness? How do you find? No, sir, he too has got lot of awareness, he is doing worship. Face will tell. Face will tell you the spirit behind it. If one puts a long face, come on, does it. Or goes on looking at the watch. Hari Om. Mechanical robot worship. Smile. When he is so happy, when he is blissful, when he sees the statue in front of him, he forgets himself. Until someone says, sir, please give the way for the next man. He doesn't know that. Because he has lost himself in total identification with the deity statue there in the temple. That is real X-ray type of approach. Whereas normal photograph type of approach, how many are there in the queue? How many there in front? How many are dressed nicely? What kind of jewelry they are having? This is photograph type of approach. Therefore, Atmanjani does spiritual rights or spiritual duties with the spirit altogether different. Then another thing, we also close our eyes and worship. We sing songs this morning, a very beautiful song. Antaranga Sai, Anadhanadha Sai, Antaranga Sai, Dinabandhu Sai, Karuna Sindhu Sai, Antaranga Sai. One sheds tears naturally. The meaning is this: Antaranga Sai. O Sai, you are in me. Anadhanadha Sai. You are only the refuge for all of us forlorn. Nobody cares for us. You are the only one who cares for us, who has concern for us. Dinabandhu Sai. You are related. You are our only relation. We are neglected, we are poor, but you are our relation. Karuna Sindhu Sai. You are the ocean of compassion. What a feeling it is really. A very beautiful song. A very meaningful song. Now, a man of non-awareness, we'll put that way. He thinks of tala, of it is fast or slow. Or he thinks of instruments. Or he thinks of the singer. My classmate or your classmate? My son or your son? So, singer, tune, beat, attention of everybody are the considerations of singing by a man of non-awareness. A step higher. I sing, Swami, so that you may fulfill my desire. I got some problem. Karuna Sindhu Sai. If you can't solve the problem, who else will solve my problem? If you don't look at me, who else will look at me, O Lord? Appealing to His mercy, appealing to His grace, we pray to Him so that He will come to our rescue. That is a little higher. There is another still higher. Swami, should I sing throughout night? Not necessary. 12 bhajan songs necessary? Not necessary. One prayer from the bottom of my heart is enough to burn the mountainous heaps of sins. Sins may be of the size of a mountain, that all can be burned with one matchstick or one bhajan. To light your cigarette, you don't need whole matchbox. Or to light your gas stove, the whole matchbox, 50 matchsticks are not necessary unless they are kept in water. One matchstick is enough, that's all. You can burn. Similarly, one bhajan, one thought, one prayer will make our lives sublime. Can burn mountainous sins also. That is the spirit of Atma Jnani. That's what we have got to understand. Then what is another point? How do I know? Externally. Outwardly. How do you know that so-and-so is a realized man? Of course, you don't have to know. You should be. We should be. Not that we have to know. Because a realized man, a man of knowledge, is not a film actor. He is not a cricketer to copy and imitate. A man of awareness. If you want to know, though it is not necessary, there is one point. What is it? There is peace around him. Atma Jnani, wherever he is, there is peace around him. There is bliss around him. There are smiles around him. There is laughter around him. There is dance around him. No Shakespeare, long faces. No tensions, no pretensions. No drama. Everyone will be genuine. Everyone will be ecstatic in front of Atma Jnani. How do you say that? Watch Bhagavan's darshan. As Bhagavan starts giving darshan, you watch yourself. How are you before darshan? Better I don't say. How are you during darshan? You know for yourself. Because we forget all our worries. We are very happy when we see him. He is a realized soul. He is divine. When that comfort, when that happiness, when that bliss, when that peace pervades around a person, you can call him, he is Atmajnani, a realized soul. Soul supreme, that's what we can see. My friends, how do you, another point, feature of Atmajnani, because there's every possibility of most of us thinking that we know. Some people say, I do this. If you want to say what you do, better you don't do. If you want to say what you do, better you don't do. Because you are not doing for advertisement. You are not doing for any propaganda, for any promotion or recognition. No. Let us do it for our own selves. Because spiritual technique, spiritual approach is too personal, I tell you. You cannot bring the romance to the streets. Romance is not to be there on the streets. The divine romance lies in our heart, so secret, so close, so intimate. I cannot put it in the fish market. No, divine romance. It's very personal. Therefore, my friends, what we do is this. A man of knowledge, we have to understand this, of self-awareness, is not affected by three qualities. Tamasic, animality. Rajasic, passion. Sattvic, piousness. He is beyond these three qualities. Attributeless. If you say you are a good man, we will say, okay. If you say you are ugliest fellow, alright, go to the next. At least you will find another better person. He is not bothered by your compliments. No fishing for compliments in the case of a realized soul. My friends, these are the points which I wanted to share with you this morning. The rest will carry on next week. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. I am really thrilled and excited, believe me or not. Because many people are under the impression that all people want stories. That all people want to hear about all their personal experiences. No, it's not all. There's something more. You study the matter at the college level. You study about energy at the university level. You just study the body at the college level. You study the anatomy in the second year of the medical course. Physiology at the higher level. Radiology, third year. Pathology, fourth year. Medicine, final year. You go on learning more and more. Bhagavan, I have no words to thank you, Swami. We have so many people who want to have knowledge of the self. If I am to pray, I have only one prayer, that Bhagavan should bless all of you with this thirst, with this hunger, with this appetite, with this longing to have knowledge of the self, Atma Jnana. May Bhagavan be with you forever and ever. Thank you very much. Rama Krishna Hari Narayana. Rama Krishna Hari Narayana. Hari Rama Krishna Hari Narayana. Hari Rama Krishna Hari Narayana. louder. No. I know how you shout at home. Your neighbors are telling me. I have got secret tape recorders at your residences. Ram Krishna Hari Narayana. Hey, Ram Krishna Hari Narayana. Dina Janavana Hari Narayana. Dina Janavana Hari Narayana. Dina Saranya Narayana. Dina Saranya Narayana. Bhava Bhaya Harana Sai Narayana. Bhava Bhaya Harana Sai Narayana. Ram Krishna Hari Narayana. Ram Krishna Hari Narayana. Hey, Dina Janavana Hari Narayana. Hari Narayana. Sai Narayana. Satyanarayana. Dina Janavana Hari Narayana. Dina Saranya Narayana. Dina Saranya Narayana. Bhava Bhaya Harana Sai Narayana. Bhava Bhaya Harana Sai Narayana. Rama Krishna Hari Narayana. Om Asato Sargamaya Tamaso Jyotirgamaya Mrunyoramaya Amrutangamaya. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Shanti Shanti Shanti. Jai Bolo Bhagwan Sri Sat Sai Baba Ji ki. Jai Bolo Bhagwan Sri Sat Sai Baba Ji ki. Jai Bolo Bhagwan Sri Sat Sai Baba Ji ki. God bless you. Thank you.